Opening hook. You're about to witness the moment when Jennifer Lopez's massive ego met someone who simply refused to play her game. One comment about her recent failures would trigger an explosion so intense that security had to be called. The host thought they were being clever, but they had no idea they were about to face the wrath of a woman who built an empire on never backing down. Everyone knows who Jennifer Lopez is. The woman who rose from the Bronx to become a global superstar. Singer, actress, businesswoman, fashion icon. But what you're about to see today is the Jennifer Lopez the media doesn't show you. The real Jennifer Lopez. The morning show was supposed to start like any normal day. Studio audience had taken their seats, cameras were ready and waiting. This was supposed to be a routine interview. Jennifer Lopez was coming on to promote her new music project. Simple, routine, trouble-free. But nobody knew what kind of mood Jennifer was in that day. Host Marcus Rivera had been doing morning television for 10 years. He was an experienced professional. He'd interviewed thousands of celebrities. But what he encountered with Jennifer Lopez was something he never expected. When Jennifer entered the studio, the atmosphere immediately shifted. There was an energy around her like an electric current. As she walked down the red carpet, her assistants were running behind her. One was holding her phone, another carrying her water bottle, a third checking her makeup bag. Jennifer Lopez moved with an army of employees, but Marcus noticed the expression on her face. This wasn't one of Jennifer's happy days. Her brows were furrowed, her jaw tense, there was a cold glint in her eyes. The news that had been circulating in the media over the past few weeks had affected her. The decline in her music career, canceled film projects, criticism on social media. Jennifer Lopez was under pressure, and that pressure was weighing heavily on her. As Marcus waited for Jennifer to sit down, he mentally reviewed his questions. The plan was simple: new album, upcoming projects, positive things. But seeing Jennifer's energy, he thought maybe he needed to be a little more careful. "Good morning, Jennifer. Welcome to our show," Marcus said with his professional smile. Jennifer nodded slightly. "Thanks," she said, but there was no warmth in her voice. It was like a word forced out. "How are you? How's everything going?" "Fine," Jennifer gave a short, sharp answer. She looked around, as if she didn't want to be there. Marcus realized this was going to be a difficult interview. But he had years of experience. He knew how to handle difficult guests. Or so he thought. "Let's talk about your new album," Marcus said. "Your fans are very excited." Jennifer's eyes immediately flashed. But this wasn't a good flash. "Which fans?" she asked, her voice cold. Marcus was surprised. "Well, you have millions of fans." "Really?" Jennifer interrupted. "Because it doesn't look that way lately." The studio fell silent. The audience was trying to understand what was happening. This wasn't normal conversation anymore. Marcus tried to salvage the situation. "Of course, the music industry is a tough place. But you've had a very successful career." "Had," Jennifer sharply corrected. Past tense. "Now everyone thinks I'm finished?" "I don't think so," Marcus said, but Jennifer's gaze silenced him. "You too? Are you one of them too?" Jennifer's voice began to rise. Marcus didn't know what to say. Jennifer's aggressive energy had enveloped the studio. The cameras kept rolling. They were live on air. "Jennifer, you're just what? Trying to humiliate me? Trying to rub my failures in my face?" "No, I would never do such a thing." "Then why are you talking so defensively? Why are you trying to put me down?" Jennifer stood up. "Why are you trying to humiliate me?" Marcus was in shock. He hadn't done anything. He had just asked normal interview questions. But Jennifer was full of rage, and she was directing that rage at him. "Jennifer, please sit down. I didn't do anything. You didn't do anything?" Jennifer's voice was ringing now. "Didn't you make fun of my career? Didn't you imply my failures?" The studio audience was in shock. Nobody knew what to do. Security guards were standing ready. "Jennifer, please calm down." "Calm down?" Jennifer screamed. "You're trying to humiliate me here and I should calm down?" Marcus's face had turned white. He had years of experience but had never encountered such a situation. Jennifer Lopez had completely lost control. "Look, Marcus," Jennifer spoke, pointing her finger at him. "Who do you think you are? You're a small morning show host. I'm Jennifer Lopez. I was already a legend before I knew you." "Jennifer, please, no." "Now I'm talking." Jennifer's eyes were blazing. "You sit here and dare to question my career? Are you going to determine how successful I am?" The studio was completely silent. Only Jennifer's angry breathing could be heard. "I've sold 70 million albums worldwide. I've starred in Hollywood. I have billion-dollar companies. What have you done? Besides asking celebrities questions on a morning show, Marcus's mouth was agape. He couldn't say anything. And you sit here and dare to judge me? Talk about my failures? Who are you? You're nothing! The audience was in stark shock. They had never seen such a scene. Jennifer Lopez had completely lost it. Jennifer, please sit down. Let's talk. Talk? With you? Jennifer laughed mercilessly. You're not important enough to talk to me. You're nothing, Marcus. A small, insignificant nothing. Marcus's eyes welled up. He was being humiliated on live television and there was nothing he could do. But then something happened. Marcus stood up. He gathered his voice and looked at Jennifer. You know what, Jennifer? You're right. I'm not a big star, but at least I know how to respect people. Jennifer was surprised. Marcus hadn't given up. I've been working here for 10 years. Marcus continued, his voice growing stronger. I've interviewed thousands of people. Big stars, small stars, everyone. And none of them behaved as disrespectfully as you. Jennifer's mouth fell open. She hadn't expected Marcus to respond. You might be world famous, but that doesn't give you the right to treat other people like dirt. Marcus's voice was now determined. I'm just doing my job. And my job is to ask respectful questions to my guests. Your ego problems aren't about me. Jennifer was furious with rage. Do you know how you're talking to me? Who do you think you are? I'm Marcus Rivera, Marcus said with his newfound strength in his voice. And this is my show. I make the rules here. Your show? Jennifer went crazy. This show only gets viewers because of real stars like me. You're nothing. Maybe I am, Marcus shrugged. But at least I know how to respect other people. You're just a selfish person who only thinks about yourself. That was it. Jennifer completely lost it. Enough! She screamed. This is impossible. You can't talk to me like this! Jennifer took off her microphone and threw it to the floor. The microphone hit the ground with a loud noise and cracked. This episode will not be aired, Jennifer screamed. My lawyers will destroy you! Marcus stood calmly. Jennifer, we're live on air. Millions of people are watching. Jennifer's face turned white. She had forgotten they were live. Everything was recorded. Her reaction, her anger, what she said to Marcus, everything was being watched by millions of people. No, she whispered. This can't be. Unfortunately, it is, Marcus said. And right now, the whole world is seeing your true character. Jennifer was in panic. She looked around, not knowing what to do. Her assistant started running over. Turn off the cameras, Jennifer screamed. Turn them off now! But Marcus signaled and the cameras kept rolling. This is my show, Jennifer. And I decide whether this episode airs. Jennifer's eyes widened with horror. She realized her career was over. When these images aired, no one would respect her. Her true character had been exposed. Marcus, please, Jennifer said, now in a pleading voice. This would be very bad. My career would end. Maybe a little humility would do you good, Marcus said. Jennifer got angry one last time. You destroyed me! She screamed and ran out of the studio. The studio fell silent. The audience was in shock while Marcus stood in place. Friends, Marcus said, turning to the camera. Sometimes true character emerges under stress. This was one of those moments, and so Jennifer Lopez's worst career moment was watched live by millions of people. The difference between ego and character had never been so clear. Marcus Rivera had just done his job that day. But he had shown Jennifer Lopez's true face to the whole world. And this was a moment that would never be forgotten. As Jennifer's assistants escorted her out of the studio, social media was already ablaze. Hashtags were trending. Video clips were going viral. Jennifer Lopez's career had completely changed in those 34 seconds. And Marcus Rivera, that small, insignificant morning show host, he was now known as one of Hollywood's bravest journalists, because he had known how to stand up to Jennifer Lopez's giant ego. The hours after the incident were a complete nightmare for Jennifer Lopez. When she left the studio, her phone was already ringing frantically. Her manager, publicist, lawyers, everyone was in panic. Jennifer, what did you do? Her manager, Lisa, was screaming. Social media has gone crazy. Jennifer sat in the back of her car, hands buried in her face. He provoked me. He started everything. No, Jennifer, you started it, Lisa said in a harsh tone. Marcus Rivera didn't do anything. You completely lost control. Jennifer raised her head. Her eyes were red. He tried to humiliate me. He rubbed my failures in my face. What failures? He just asked normal questions. You became paranoid and messed everything up. The phone rang again. This time it was Jennifer's lawyer. "Jennifer, we're trying to control the situation, but it's very difficult," Lawyer Robert said. "The video has already been watched millions of times. It's trending on Twitter. J-Lo meltdown everywhere." Jennifer's stomach turned. The Naglo meltdown hashtag could end her career. "What can we do?" she asked, her voice trembling. "You need to apologize. Immediately. A big, sincere, humble apology. And you must apologize to Marcus Rivera personally." "To Marcus?" Jennifer wrinkled her face in disgust. "That little Jennifer," Lisa shouted. "Drop this ego thing. Your career is in danger." Meanwhile, inside the studio, Marcus Rivera was still in shock. He had tried to continue the show, but his concentration was completely scattered. Jennifer Lopez's explosion was so unexpected that he still couldn't grasp what had happened. After the show ended, the producers rushed to Marcus. "Marcus, you were incredible," producer Sarah said. "We've never seen anything like this. You're a real journalist." "I just did my job," Marcus said, still confused. "No, you did much more. You dropped Jennifer Lopez's mask. You showed her true character to the whole world." Marcus's phone was ringing frantically too. Media organizations were calling him for interviews. He was being hailed as a hero on social media. The hashtag Marcus Rivera Hero was trending. Messages on Twitter were flooding in. Marcus Rivera made journalism history this morning. "Thank you for showing us Jennifer Lopez's true face. Finally, someone put that egotistic woman in her place." Marcus Rivera is an example of courage. But the most interesting reaction came from other celebrities. Secretly, many celebrities complained about Jennifer's behavior. But no one had dared to speak openly. What Marcus did gave them courage too. That evening, famous actor Ryan Mitchell shared this message from his social media account. "Sometimes true character emerges under pressure." Marcus Rivera showed what real journalism is today. Respect. This tweet caused a big stir. Ryan Mitchell's not supporting Jennifer became a big talking point in Hollywood. When Jennifer saw this tweet, she went crazy. Even Ryan. "Did he betray me too?" "Jennifer, nobody's betraying you," Lisa said. "You shot yourself in the foot. Now you have to face the consequences." The next day, Jennifer's PR team gathered to try crisis management. But the situation was very bad. Sponsors were calling saying they wanted to review contracts. Planned film projects had been suspended. "How bad is the situation?" Jennifer asked. "Very bad," her publicist Amanda said. "The cosmetics brand is considering terminating the contract. The film studio is reviewing your project. And concert tickets have started being refunded." Jennifer put her head in her hands. She had lost everything in one night. "What do I need to do?" "You must apologize. But just an apology won't be enough. You need to show real remorse, prove that you've changed." "Do I have to apologize to Marcus?" "Yes, and this shouldn't just be a PR move. It has to be real," Jennifer sighed. Her ego didn't want to allow such humility, but she had no other choice. Meanwhile, Marcus Rivera was having the strangest days of his life. After the morning show, hundreds of media organizations called him. Big television channels were making job offers. Newspapers wanted interviews. "Marcus, you became a star overnight," his friend Tom said. "Standing up to Jennifer Lopez made you a legend." "I just did what was right," Marcus said. "Nobody deserves to be treated like that. But you showed courage." Most people would bow to Jennifer's ego. You didn't. Marcus was thoughtful. Jennifer's explosion was certainly wrong, but had he been too harsh too? There was a small feeling of guilt inside him. But then he saw the support on social media. Thousands of people were thanking him. Most were people who had suffered from Jennifer's behavior. Marcus's courage had given them hope. That evening, Jennifer Lopez's PR team organized an emergency press conference. Jennifer faced the microphones in a large hotel hall. Hundreds of journalists were there. "Good morning," Jennifer said, her voice trembling. "I want to talk about what happened yesterday morning." The hall was silent. Everyone was wondering what she would say. "First, I want to apologize to Marcus Rivera. My behavior was completely wrong. He was just doing his job and I disrespected him." Jennifer paused, her eyes welling up. "I've been under a lot of pressure lately, but that's no excuse for treating another human being like that. Marcus Rivera showed only professionalism when hosting me on his show. My behavior towards him is unforgivable." Journalists were taking notes. This apology seemed more sincere than they expected. "I also apologize to the viewers, my fans, and all the public. My behavior was inconsistent with the values that the Jennifer Lopez brand represents." Jennifer's voice broke. "I've thought a lot in the last 24 hours. And I realized that success had changed me. Pride and ego had overshadowed my character. This is my fault, and I take responsibility for it. A journalist raised their hand. Yes? Ms. Lopez, is this just a PR move? Or are you really sorry? Jennifer took a deep breath. If this was just a PR move, I wouldn't be here. My career has been damaged, my sponsor deals are in jeopardy, my projects are suspended. But most importantly, I hurt a human being, and that doesn't let my conscience rest easy. Have you spoken with Marcus Rivera? Not yet, but I want to. If he accepts, I want to apologize to him face to face. After the press conference, Jennifer immediately got in the car and went to the television channel where Marcus worked. She wanted to wait for him. Marcus had watched Jennifer's press conference. The apology seemed sincere, but he was still skeptical. Too many celebrities had apologized in crisis and then returned to their old ways. As he was leaving the channel, he saw Jennifer at the door. She was alone, no assistants. She looked very different, more human. Marcus, Jennifer said as she approached. Can we talk? Marcus hesitated. Sure. They sat in a nearby cafe. Jennifer looked at Marcus. First, I want to apologize to you. What I did yesterday is unforgivable. I accept your apology, Marcus said. But why? Why did you behave like that? Jennifer lowered her eyes. Because you were right. I've been failing lately and I couldn't accept it. My album didn't sell as I hoped, my film projects were canceled, criticism was pouring in, and I thought it was someone else's fault. But I didn't do anything. I know. You just asked normal questions, but I was so defensive that I perceived everything as an attack. Marcus felt that Jennifer was being sincere. You know, Jennifer, you're an incredibly talented artist, but ego overshadows talent, you're right. And I want to change. Really? How? I don't know yet. But for starters, I want to learn humility. Maybe you could help me. Marcus was surprised. Me? You stood up to me yesterday. You put me in my place, and now I understand that I needed that. Everyone around me praises me, doesn't criticize. It was hard to find someone who told the truth, Marcus thought. If you really want to change, I'll support you. But this won't be easy, I know. But I'm ready to try. Thus began an unexpected friendship. Marcus began giving Jennifer humility lessons. Jennifer, for the first time, was learning to receive real criticism. Months later, Jennifer was a guest on Marcus's show again. This time it was very different. Humble, sincere, real. In the studio where they had fought yesterday, they were now laughing. Marcus, you gave me a great gift that day, Jennifer said, looking at the camera. How? You showed me my true character. And that was the first step I needed to change. Marcus smiled. Sometimes, the greatest gift is seeing ourselves in the mirror, Jennifer. Agreed. And sometimes it's finding someone brave enough to hold up that mirror for us. When the show ended, the audience gave a standing ovation. This wasn't just an interview. This was a transformation story. Jennifer Lopez became a different person from that day on. She was still successful, still talented. But now she was humble too, and this made her even more beloved. Marcus Rivera went from being just a small host doing his job to one of Hollywood's most respected journalists. Because he had shown the courage to tell the truth. And those 34 seconds? Those 34 seconds changed the lives of two people forever. The moment Jennifer's ego crashed into Marcus's courage made both Jennifer and Marcus better people. Sometimes the biggest conflicts turn into the most beautiful friendships. And sometimes the moments when we tear someone down are actually the moments needed to lift them up. This story is the story of the war between ego and humility. Jennifer Lopez's defeat actually became her greatest victory, because that day she found her true character, and Marcus Rivera, that small, insignificant morning show host, he was now too big a person for anyone to belittle. Because courage always makes a person great.